Right. And David Daly is our next speaker, and I am so excited to have him in the house. He's one of my favorite people because whenever we get together, we laugh a lot. So I just want to welcome you to the Maui County Government and Nonprofit Career Fair. I'm Nico Fisher. I'm the project manager for the Maui County Virtual Job Fair website. And we've been planning all sorts of things, highlighting the jobs that we have available, nonprofit and government. And we're trying to help or hoping to inspire you to consider working for a cause greater than yourself. And it's really exciting to be a part of this. We've had several presentations now, and we have this next one coming up, which is the last of our day today. We'll have videos of all of these sessions up on our website. So I will, if anybody is interested in that link, I can go ahead and email it to you if you'd like. But we have David Daly joining us, and I'm super excited. I'm going to talk a little bit about you, David, okay? Just so they know who you are. So he has over 25 years of experience with small businesses on Maui. The experience being in Core 4, this experience includes, I'm sorry, I think I just messed that up, David. Let me redo that. David Daly has over 25 years of experience with small businesses on Maui. This experience includes small business ownership and management, business financing, business education, and entrepreneurial training focusing on small business startups. His background includes residential mortgage lending, being a FINRA licensed financial advisor. Currently, he's the director of the Maui Economic Opportunities Business Development Center, and BDC works with Maui small businesses and entrepreneurial education, planning, and micro lending. And I'm just going to put another little plug in here. Being a small business person in marketing, I do connect with a lot of the people that go through this program. And the difference between somebody brand new not going to this program and someone knowing this going to this program, going through it, is immense. So if you are a small business person and you think you might need a little bit of assistance and guidance in either starting a business or growing your own, this is an incredible program and it would be something of interest. So anyway, David, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Nico. Yeah, excited to be here, excited to share what MEO Business Development Center does as the acronym of BDC, which we kind of call ourselves internally and out in our peer group. But just I'm really going to focus on the entrepreneur side of things and primarily talk about our Core 4 business planning class, which you spoke on briefly, and it really is something that we hold our hats on, that we are passionate about bringing, and the community is much better off having this program because it really does give people a leg up. Not everyone is satisfied and content with just working for someone and being an employer. There are individuals, and Hawaii has quite a few that are, very passionate and want to be self-employed business owners and have that drive and desire to do their own thing. And really what the Core 4 business planning class gives that individual, it really gives them a leg up and gives them a ground floor structured viewpoint of what they're going to entail going forward from the point of, hey, I think I want to do something. The concept could be, any number of things, but just that point going, hey, I think I want to do something, but I really don't know where to go to find out about it. What do I need to know? The Core 4 course basically is going to take you and almost provide like a boot camp atmosphere of here's what we're going to train you, here's what we're going to teach you, and here's why it's going to be beneficial for you, not only in giving you the content and information of what you're going to need to know to go through and enter into business, but it really teaches people, the real key areas that they want to focus on so that their time is not wasted and they're not spinning their wheels. And I guess the best way I can put it is success would be someone coming through the program and going, wow, I know enough to now go ahead and put a business plan together for this business, for this venture. And I know what I need to do and I know why I need to do it. But a success also is someone that goes through the program and is able to look at it and go, maybe this is not what I want to do. Maybe I'm really not cut out for this. And that's really something that I think is very important, because it doesn't happen immediately going through the course, but through the course itself, because the course is currently a 5-week course, and it's about anywhere between 24 and 30 hours of instruction, and all the information and course registration, that sort of thing, can be found on our MEO website, which is actually not on this slide, but it would be meoinc.org would be your access to the MEO website. And it it really lets people really have a kind of a bird's eye view and make a decision. And that's the goal of this. And that's really one of the things that I think is one of the hallmarks that the Core 4 program gives. And before I go into a little bit more detail on the course itself, we are our partner agency, and some of you have heard from Karen Arakawa, who is the previous speaker on the Maui County Business Resource Center, and the products and the expertise that they have to be able to help small businesses and small business entrepreneurs, new startup businesses. But there's also partners that we are with that includes a Small Business Development Center in Kihei, which is the SBDC, and also Maui Economic Development Board. And all three of us combined with a few others, Maui Chamber of Commerce, Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce, we really are structured and here to help business, entrepreneurs, to give them content and information to help through any stage of their journey. And Maui is very unique in that I will tell you that we are very, very far and above any other county within Hawaii. But, even nationally, we provide something that is, people are blown away that, that these resources are available and they're all free. So, there's true benefit in that. And that's something that the County of Maui and the Office of Economic Development through the Office of the Mayor, these are things that they've been put in place from previous administrations, because Business Development Center MEO has been here, I think, since the mid-90s. So we're going 25 plus years, and a good amount of that, more than 20, we've been teaching and producing the Core 4 business planning class to give Maui residents, this leg up that they basically need to not only see what they want to do with the concept that they are thinking of doing, but on a bigger picture, we get a lot of entrepreneurs that are currently in business that never wrote a business plan, that come through the course and are just amazed at how much more information and things that they didn't know when they started their business that will now benefit them to help them actually grow their business to a different level. So I will go through my slides here and talk a little bit about the program. So Business Development Center does the Core 4 Business Planning course. We do one-on-one business consultation within the course and outside of the course. So a business owner or someone who wants to start a business is more than welcome to call us to come in, and we do our best to. We have an amazing team here at BDC, and not only on Maui but also on Molokai. And we're here specifically to help people to get them to that next spot where they need to go, where they can put this business together. So even in the startup phase, but also when they're in business, we do one-on-one technical assistance. We also do small business loans. Primarily they're startup loans, but we call them micro loans. So there could be, for a startup business, you could possibly get funding for up to $25,000. And these loans really are targeted for people who cannot find traditional lending at reasonable interest rates. But yet they have a really great idea and a great concept, and they have a well done plan, and it's well thought out. We're going to do everything in our power to be able to help fund the startup of that business. And then one of the other real pillars of what we do is we do financial literacy, both for adults, and we also do it for the youth. So that is all encompassing what MEO Business Development Center does. And what I'm going to speak about is our Core 4 Business Planning class, which is been in place for 20, I would say at least 23 years. I have been with Business Development Center for the last 12 years. I've been the director for the last 5 years, going on 6. And I've also been an instructor for this course for the last 10 years on all islands. So Maui, Molokai, and Lanai, everyone has access to this course. Now, I did talk about our program, and the services are free. The course actually has a cost to it because there is a workbook involved, and there are some hard costs that we do incur, and there is a fee. Currently it's $50 for this course, and that includes the workbook, whether it's going to be in person or Zoom, and that's a very nominal fee, which really pretty much is available to, should be acceptable to all. But for those who are unable to even afford that fee, we also do financial assistance where we're going to cover the cost of that. And so no one basically is going to walk away and go, hey, I really want to do it, but I don't have the money to do it. That's not going to happen on our watch. So everyone is going to be given the opportunity to get the information in this course. So business planning, what is business planning? What is a business plan? Okay, so if you're starting a business, or even those individuals who are in business now, a business plan is really your roadmap to how you're going to do certain things. What is going to happen? When is it going to happen? Why is it important? And you have to, as a would-be business owner, someone going through starting a business, you want to have a plan because it makes execution of what you're doing way more detailed and systematic, and things are not going to get lost, not looked at, not thought about. The important things are going to be in your plan, and your plan is going to allow you to then execute from where you are now to you being able to operate, open a small business. So the Core 4 course, like I said, is a business planning course. So it teaches you how to write a business plan, why the plan is important, and why the plan and you really, why it goes together, why that content of information is so important for the business that you want to open. And that's essentially what it is. The Core 4, as the name speaks to, it's basically got 4 cores that we look at. And I'm just checking my slides here. So the first core that we are going to be going through with the Core 4 course is called success planning. And success planning, if I'm going to give you sort of a Cliff Notes version on this, it's all about you. And the reason that we start there, because you are the fundamental foundation for anything that's going to happen with going further in the course, learning, building a business. Everything revolves around you as an individual. No one else is going to do it for you. It's solely your responsibility. There can be other people involved with your business that might be equal to you, but ultimately you and or whoever else is going to be a key member of your business is going to have the ultimate responsibility. And this is why when we start with success planning, the number one thing that we're going to look at is what's inside of you. What is your motivation? What is your level of expertise in what you are thinking about doing? What's your background? What are your likes and dislikes? What is your personal life like? Because it really gets to that point where you may go, well, here's what I want to do, but there could be certain things within your personal life that, it's pretty unrealistic that you're going to be able to do what you want to do because of things that are going on with your life right now. And that's why success planning ultimately involves you. This is your foundational piece. You are it. And then we work up from there. So, in success planning, we look at personal goals, we look at business goals, we discuss that, personal financial resources, because starting a business is not free. The time and commitment that someone takes to go through the course is, there's a dollar value to that. But the amount of just money that is going to cost to do what you want to do at whatever level you're entering, it's not free. Okay, so the business, and I joke with people that I'm all about the dollar sign. I'm all about the money. I'm very passionate about giving people the tools that they need, and this course is filled with them. But the whole goal of this is it's about making money. Okay. I will say that the structure of this course is also very applicable to someone who's looking at doing a nonprofit, because you're building the same structure, you're just building it with a different customer base. And when I talk about dollars are important because that's what you're in business for. You're not in business for fun. You're in business to make money. And this is why we kind of start and roll things out in that manner of this is your ultimate focus. If you're doing it for fun, That's great, but you're not going to do it very long for fun if you don't make any money. And on a nonprofit side of things, if you were going, hey, I want to build this, and there's been some really outstanding ideas that structurally would work as a nonprofit entity, that nonprofit doesn't work for free. It may give its services for free, but it does not operate without money. So the same thing is going to apply to the nonprofit that applies to the for-profit business. You don't go to stage 2 without money. And if you're the owner of the business, your probably primary motivation is to make money to live, to have this be your source of income, to have this business be able to generate the money that you need to live. This is where we go through all of that in success planning, and it's, you know, it's eye-opening. It's not daunting, it's just real life. But sometimes, you know, if you close your eyes and you say, I don't want to know about that, generally that's probably something that's going to come back to haunt you. So we get it out of the way early, and we have you look at it, and there's no roadblock. Okay, there's just ways around it. Okay, nothing is going to stop you. We're going to give you the tools to be able to go over it, around it, under it, however you want to do it. But like I said in the beginning, you're the driver. The individual who is going to be the entrepreneur is driving this whole motivation, is doing everything. So we really get into that, and kind of get that as a groundswell going forward. And then as our second core comes up, you'll see that this is market planning. And market planning is, I'm going to say, probably if you and what you're bringing to it is 1, market planning is 1A. And it's not even 2. It may be listed as 2 as far as our numerical sequencing, but it's 1A because market planning is basically where you're going, I have this service, I have this product. Where am I going to sell this, and who's going to buy it? And the biggest question that I have that I will pose to you is, who's going to buy it, and who are those people? Because if you understand who your customers are and where they are and what is going to motivate them to want or need, and there's a difference there, to want or need your product or service, you are going to be in the 80 to 90 percentile of success, because that is going to be your key. That if you know that, and when I say key, literally, if you can unlock that portion and do the research and do the due diligence is what we call it, to find out all the nuances on your customer target, you're going to have you're going to start at, you know, if you're going to 10, you're going to start at 7. So it's a huge leg up, and it really sets the stage for, okay, I have this concept, I have this idea, I have this product, and I really want to do it. Well, it really doesn't matter what you want to do. You want to make it happen, but you're not going to buy it. Your customer is going to buy it. And if the customer doesn't pay you, you do not have a business. It's pretty simple. And I will be honest that I try and make it as, you know, non-tedious as possible. And I really do my best to bring the key elements in, so that you're aware of that and you understand the concept behind it, so you can buy in and go, yes, I need to do this. I need to know this. And this is an integral part of what my business plan will be, because this is how I want to do it. So in market planning, customers, we talk about products and services of, you know, obviously what you're doing, but why they're buying something, your customer, how they're actually buying it. So you have multiple choices of distribution. You can be an, at-home business that has an online store. You can be a brick and mortar business that sells at a storefront and also has an online presence. You can be a manufacturer that basically provides services and they sell to another store, another retail store. So there's so many different avenues of that term distribution. And that term distribution means, where does your end user, where does your customer buy it? And we go through the nuances of understanding who your customer is, because if a store buys your product to resell it, that store is your customer. Even though the person that buys it from that store is ultimately the one you're building it for, they're not your customer when it comes to a wholesale account. So an online, someone who goes online and they look and they go, oh, I'm going to buy that directly, that's your customer. Okay. So understanding them, knowing the age demographic, knowing where they are, what motivates them, these types of things are infinitely beyond important, and that's why it's number 1A. Because the other component is, reaching them. How do you get in front of them? What are you going to use? How are you going to do it? How much does it cost? What are your resources? It just, all of these things that we bring up actually streamline and make your life easier and faster, so you do not waste time. Doesn't mean you hit a home run every single time, because no one does that. It's going to be more like a true baseball player, where you're going to hit maybe 3 out of 7 or 3 out of 10. But it's a constant work in progress. But you learn and you understand and you start to develop strategies, and not putting all your eggs in one basket and trying to reach people in this avenue as well as that avenue, and understanding the difference between those, and really kind of welcoming that part of your business, which is going to be ongoing. Doesn't matter, you wrote a business plan that says X, the minute you open this business and you are live, you will never stop market planning and doing marketing and doing promotion. You're never going to stop. So another component that comes in on market planning that is equal to your customer is your competition, because everyone's going to have it. No one is exempt. We talk about direct competitors, we talk about indirect competitors, and that gives you a view into who you're going up against for dollars. So not only are you building something that you believe in, you're passionate about, and you go, everyone's going to want it. Well, people have a choice. And as you know, if you go on Amazon and you're looking for something, each one of those things on that one page probably all come from a different vendor. And they're all fighting for your money. So you have to understand of who you're fighting against, because that's just part of the landscape of your marketplace. And that's another thing we touch on. So market planning is loaded. It's got a lot. That's the largest time spent in the Core 4 class is in market planning, because it is so vitally important to have a really good game plan and a good understanding of how it's going to be done and why. So the and why is like the biggie. Then I kind of relate it to when we were in school and your teacher said, gosh, Dave, you did great. You did that math problem and that was excellent and you got it right. Well, show me your work. And you're like, what? I just guessed and I got it right. Show me your work is basically what your business plan is. It's proving that there's something behind what you're doing. You're proving why certain things are how they are and why you're going to do it a certain way and why your business is going to do it a certain way. So, essentially, that's some of the biggest things, is that you have to prove it can be done. All right. So we're going to move on to our third core, which is the absolute funnest of all. You guys will love this. Cash flow. Everybody loves money, right? Everybody loves money. And if you're in business to make money. So cash flow, really, we probably all know, the term cash flow. We have heard it. But as it relates to your business, it's a pillar, and the amount of money that goes in and out of your business is cash flow. Okay, that's the Cliff Notes version of cash flow. Well, there's things that go into that, like a price of your product or service and how you came about that, um, why why you're charging that versus higher or lower. That's in your plan. Um, the costs of doing business. Okay, so that term will come up a lot. The cost of doing business on multiple levels. We focus in cash flow planning, looking at projecting forward. So we in cash flow planning, it's quasi financials, right? But we really focus on forward thinking because you're building a plan for something that you want to do. You want to have this happen. It's not happening right now. This is something you want to have happen. So therefore, the cash flow is a projection going forward, meaning I believe that I can sell 10 widgets a day or 10 plate lunches a day. The cash flow also has an expense side. So you have the revenue of how much money I can make. You also have an expense side of what it costs me to make that money. And what the cash flow planning lets you do, or lets someone do who's going through it, it lets them give a window ahead. It lets them look at what these numbers will be like as far as the potential for the business and or the potential downsides, meaning what costs are involved and can I reach those levels of cost and can I do it that way? All of these are going to come into play with cash flow planning, but we're also going to touch on giving you some information about financials once your business is operating, what a profit and loss is, what a balance sheet is, and why they're important, and how that relates to taxation and our general excise tax, which we have here in Hawaii, and how that is going to affect your business and how it's paid, and then going into federal income tax and state income tax, and things. This is part of your life. This is not something that you're going to go, well, I don't really care about that because I'm going to do all cash business. You can build a business plan to do an all cash business, but you're still going to pay taxes. So we really focus on legal business entities. Okay, so if you're going to build something, build it so it has longevity, that it can sustain in the marketplace. We're going to go through terms that are feasible, viable, desirable. Those are three terms that we hit on, and really they're called almost like the core principles of someone who's starting a business or is in business. Feasibility is, can it be done? Can you do it? Can the business actually operate where you want it to operate, like you want it to operate? Is it viable? Can it last longer than a week? Can it last longer than a month? Does it have the chance for growth? Is it viable? And the last one, which is really the most important, is desirability. Do people want it? Do they want what you want to bring them? How much do they want it? At what cost are they willing to pay for it? So desirability is a big component that comes into your business plan, and it's going to be a part of your cash flow projections as well. So that aspect is our third core, which we probably is pretty close to market planning as far as importance and nights that or days that we spend on this, because the more comfortable people are with numbers, everyone knows the numbers of how much money they want to put in their pocket, but knowing the numbers of how your business operates are way more important, because you'll never get any money in your pocket if you don't understand the numbers of how your business operates. So we go through that in detail. And then our fourth core is operations planning. And operations planning really has two distinct components, internal and external. And external operation is how your business operates within the context of your marketplace, your municipality. What licenses do you need? What type of entity will you be? Will you be a sole proprietor? Will you be an LLC? Why? Which one is better? How do I determine that? We're going to give you all of this beautiful information so that you, the business owner and plan writer, are going to then make that decision, because no one else can do it besides you. And that's the importance of pretty much this whole course, is that you're going to find out a bunch of information, but it's up to you to decide the level and how much and what you truly need to have in this plan to explain what you're going to do. And operations is a big component of that, because you're dealing with a municipality, which includes taxes. Okay. And taxes are a big part of, your business to business entity. And business to business is also your business and vendors that you're going to purchase things from, and the other way around. Okay. So that's external. Internal operations is, how does your business operate day in and day out, hour in, hour out? Who does what? It could be as very simple as, I'm a one-person sole proprietor and I do everything. That's pretty simple. Your operations plan is going to be pretty light, to someone who's building a business that's going to have employees. It's going to have different levels of management. And that operations plan is going to be a whole lot more detailed, because who is responsible for what and why and when. That's an internal operations plan. And the best way I explain it to people is, if you were a single operator business and your business was, you were a baker, you would still want an operations plan. You know why? Because when you bake, if someone else was going to ever bake and put together that recipe, your operations plan is going to be that recipe, because it has to be done the same every single time. So therefore, that's the same kind of thing that an operations plan will, any business, is that there's a reason why things are done this way. Okay, down to something as simple as, who is going to unlock the front door? What time are we opening? What time do you need to be there? What are you going to do when you first open the door? Who's in charge of basically, going through the cash drawer and doing the sales for the day? And who's in charge of actually taking that to the bank? And who's in charge of restocking? And who's going to be the purchasing agent? And all these things are part of an operations plan for within a business. Okay, so it can be very simple or it can be much more detailed. But what it does, again, is it gives you a window ahead that you get to look at things and, I guess I would say, tweak or mold, or you get to form how you want it to be based on what you know to be needed. Okay, and that's a big part of what the course gives you. Is it gives you so much content that the amount of content is not going to be for everything is not going to be applicable to every single student. because every business might be different and every individual is different. So I relate it to drinking out of a fire hose. You're going to, at some point, you're not going to be able to consume all of it because, well, number one, it's not going to be pertinent to what you're doing. But to someone sitting next to you, it might be totally important. So there's a lot of that goes into the course. But at the end of the day, what you're going to get out of it is you're going to get the knowledge and the comfort ability to know why you want to write the plan, what's going to be in the plan, and how that directly affects what your business is going to do and how you want it to run. So that's pretty much core four in a nutshell, and that's why some people will say, "Gosh, Dave, you could talk forever on that." Well, yeah, I can, and I will, and I do, because I've seen the other side of that. And so I've seen the value of someone doing a business plan versus someone who just wings it and opens their business with no plan. And I'm telling you, it's literally night and day. There are people who go into different ventures that are very, very fortunate and they step on all the right lily pad. But more often than not, it's much more difficult than that. And there's so many more things that someone needed to know that they didn't know because they never went through the process of building a plan. So it's fundamentally a pillar of, it's going to be a pillar of your business success. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's your roadmap. So when you open and you're in business and you're live, that roadmap doesn't start. You then start a new roadmap going, okay, what is my first year going to be like? Now, it's not going to be as detailed as your original business plan, but essentially you're going to continue that process going forward to continue to plan ahead, because businesses that don't do that generally are caught out if things change and when things change. So both of those are applicable. And we've seen it with COVID where businesses had to change things up. We did it. Pretty much every business had to do it because we just, the bottom dropped out and things were dynamically different. So if you wanted to stay in business, you had to adapt to what, I hate the term new normal, but you had to adapt. And that's essentially what a business plan gives you, that that you can hang on to and go, okay, I'm pretty prepared. I'm as prepared as I can be. You'll never be 100% prepared, but I'll be prepared as I possibly can be to enter going forward. So that is my end of my presentation. And like I said, we do in person, we do Zoom, phone, however you want to reach out and connect with us. We are really just here for either entrepreneurs who want to start a business or small businesses that are currently in business that need a little bit of help. So that I will end with that, and I will thank Nico for giving me the opportunity to tell you guys about this.
So what this whole thing reminds me of is a show that I watch on the Food Channel, and it's Restaurant Impossible. And it starts out with someone saying, "Oh, I thought it would be a nice hobby to buy a restaurant. I've always been a good cook. And I thought, my mom's always told me I was a great cook, but they know nothing about the business. And they get into so much trouble because they know nothing. And if they just had the practices that every position needed to do, who opened in the morning, who did the cash box, everything that you're talking about, it's the whole thing put together. And then that's only the beginning. Then you have the growth plan. So, I mean, the beauty of this, and you mentioned it, is that you might have a great idea that might not really pan out as a business.
Right.
And it's better to know now than wait and spend all that time and money and not succeed. It's nice to try. Don't get me wrong. That's, I did that. I didn't do much planning when I moved here. I had a totally different idea of a business, and I did this as a part-time business in Oregon. And my plan did not work out. So I thought, oh, I'll just do my business. And I had so much to learn because of the taxes, because of the structure, that doing your program would be, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And kind of the other side of that, to kind of bookend that, is not only knowing whether the business can be done or not, but the big one is knowing whether you want to put in the time and effort to do that. I mean, that's kind of it. And that's why success planning and starting out is such a big part of the whole thing, because we are going to do everything. The entrepreneur is going to do everything. They're going to be responsible for everything. And the potential for monetary loss due to, I guess, I don't want to say ineptness, but due to unknown, right? Of not knowing something, that can be like, you go, oh, no big deal. Like, I lost $5,000. Well, if someone asked you for $5,000, you'd be like, you are high. I'm not giving you a cent. That's a lot of money. But people throw away thousands of dollars going through the process of starting a business that really probably never had a chance.
Mhm. Well, the beauty of this is, when you do start a business, writing a business plan is not something that everybody thinks about.
No.
It's not easy to do if you don't know how to do it. And because you've done this for so long with so many different people, you've perfected what that might look like. And, all of them might look a little bit different depending on what the plan is, but basically they all do the same thing. And it is a study, in a small business, and you cover a lot of ground. I love that it's $50. I love that you're going into, in the July session, you said you're going into in-person and Zoom.
Yep. We're going to cover all those bases.
And what you didn't talk about are the people who come in and talk to the students, the practitioners.
The
So
guest,
you want to talk about them?
Sure. So the I guess real life, we try and bring real life to someone who's really putting something together on paper. We're trying to get it to almost be 3D. So we strive to, and even during virtual, we bring in guest speakers to give people, not only professionals in their field who are small business owners that are speaking on specific topics within the plan, but also to bring in business owners, and specifically business owners that have gone through the Core 4, they can speak to just like, hey, it works, right? And that really makes a big difference. And the little, I call them like, not like cheat codes, but, I always will ask people, who come in and speak, and I'll say, okay, give the class one, kind of little cliche or nuance, or something that you kind of live by, and it may not be something big, but you remember it from the very beginning and you still hold on to it. Those are like mind-blowing, like just small little things, and the class will go, whoa, really? You still think about that? Like, you've got 3 different locations now and you're doing so well. And it's like, yes, but I still live by this mantra, and it's because of X. So yeah, bringing stuff out so that students can digest it. And I mean, literally, like, they can breathe it in and go, okay, I got it. I really have a good feeling. That's one of the goals of bringing the class out and going through that. So
And
Yeah.
well, not only that, the other thing that comes out of it is mentorship.
Definitely.
And, you know, you, not only you, but you bringing in different people who are in business or counselors or whomever they might be. People can actually gain some mentors along the way and will help them be guided throughout the course of business beyond
Right.
the actual core 4 planning, you know, carrying them further. That is a plus that you wouldn't even imagine. That's nowhere in your text.
No, you are correct, and thank you for bringing that up, because I guess you would call it networking, or that aspect of it, whether it be with, you know, our banking partners, or with you, who's been a vital part of our, you know, our marketing partner, and, you know, just giving people that what you said, that resource of like, hey, I can call Nico and maybe ask her a couple questions, and, you know, she's gonna lead me down the road. I really liked her presentation. I really thought she was sincere. That's something that you develop, that relationship, and that's what small businesses have. They have those points, and that sort of structure and support system, to be able to succeed. So it's huge.
Well, I my doggy's trying to jump up. Sorry about that. He wants something. I am so thankful that you were here to talk to us about this. I did put in the chat box all of the partners that you discussed, SBDC, MEDB, your telephone number. So if anybody on the call wants to grab that, just go down to the chat box. And there are 3 dots. If you click those 3 dots, there's a save chat button that you can just click, and it'll be downloaded for you. So you can have that at any time. So I want you to be able to do that. And David, you are always such a pleasure. I'm so happy to know you as a human, and that you're out there doing good for our community. It means the world to me. So thank you so much for coming out and playing with us.
No problem. I anytime. Yeah, and like you say, I'm passionate about what we do at Business Development Center. I'm passionate about the core 4, so it's really kind of ingrained in me that we, and all MEO, we get to help people. So that there's really nothing better than to get paid to do that. So I'm in the bonus round. Anytime.
Right on. Well, I'm going to stop the recording right now, but I want to, oh, here he is. I don't know if you could see him. Yes. There's the dude. That's his name. I'm going to stop this recording, and I want